Going, everybody? Welcome to Fey Earth. This is our alternate 19th century TTRPG set in a world where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and lived alongside humanity. The game is set in the year 1872. Specifically, it is the 15th of February 1872. We are in the fictional town of Cherville, which is roughly central France, near the ancient oak forest of known as Tronquay. Our band of adventurers, this fearsome group of women who've been here for, well, they arrived here in the town approximately a month ago, but there was an issue where they accidentally found themselves in the Fey realm and lost about a week and a half, 10 days. So debatable how long they've actually been in Sheffield. Okay. When last we met our heroes, they had just defeated an Ogress who had recently travelled into the area and had attacked the town, killing several of the gendarmes in the town. Was driven off by the local legend and famed hunter Philippe Dubois, a former captain of the French army. But the Fey beast was staying in the forest, healing themselves up, and they were probably soon going to attack again. They had attacked a number of farms, taking livestock to feed themselves, and our party with Philippe Dubois, local legend and extraordinary hunter, that is official title, and three members of the gendarme had gone in to fight the creature and did successfully slay it, though with some of our party coming very close to death if it wasn't for the healing magics of the party druid. Both the healing tinctures that she had been preparing and giving out to the party members and the spells that she was using. So before we return to before we return to our session, because I've given a recap now, so there's no point in asking my players to give a recap. Does anybody want to give the first person to give me their favorite moment of the last session will get an inspiration die. So all of you at once.
Well, we were muted.
Okay.
When Juliet came out and spoke to Gwen.
Okay.
Aww.
Definitely the best moment of the game.
You burning your inspiration dice.
Yeah,
Worth it.
that
So
was,
worth
yeah,
it.
yeah, I
for
love
your
that.
fucking stealth roll before
Yep.
a potentially lethal fight.
Yeah,
So you can go get some. Like,
Yeah, that was
totally worth it.
that was a
Totally worth
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
That was an amazing display of. I didn't even know, as the game's designer, I wasn't even aware that I had somehow introduced a mechanic for gay panic. But you had demonstrated that burning your inspiration die so you could talk to your potential paramour instead of saving that die for the ogre fight that was going to happen. So, Neve, Gwyn, you get a new 1d8 inspiration die that you can use at any stage in this session. So
I'll try to use
and
it
don't forget to
responsibly.
use it.
yeah, so we return to our scene. We were in the middle of a glade. There was a small cave, about 2 meter high entrance, that the ogress had been living in. This appears to be her lair. She is on the ground, dead, having been the final finishing blow having been struck by Gwyn using her elemental earth magic. And Mina, who is covered in the ogress's blood because she was standing at her feet when she started profusely pumping blood out of her jugular, is hacking away at the creature's head using her halberd.
It's actually Sylvia that killed it. But
Sorry, I meant
Sylvia.
Sylvia, yes.
So Sylvia's looking around. Who looks injured?
Dubois is really pretty badly met. Like I know.
Now we don't give a shit about it.
I know Mina. Like Mina would have possibly been dead if not for your healing magics. The damage that she took.
Yeah, but I'm fine.
You're not
You're
dead.
not.
But after Mina, the only other
I'm in
person,
the double digits, I'm fine.
the only other person that the ogre had actually attacked, because everybody else was fighting at range, was Dubois. And
Right.
even though
Yeah, but we don't care about him.
even though Dubois was fighting at range with his rifle, she did swoop in on him because he was doing considerable damage to her with his keen shots of his gun. So yeah, he's pretty badly bunged. Like, he's not anywhere near as badly injured as Mina is because he's just a lot hardier and tougher, can take more damage.
Okay.
But after Mina, he's the only other person who is actually injured.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast Minor Healing Word at basic level, so 2 mana.
Okay.
So let me just write this down now. Okay, so that's 1d4 plus 4. Okay, so that's 7 points of damage he's healed.
Cool. Okay. So this is Dubois, yes?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna heal Mina as well, and I'm gonna use 4 mana.
Okay.
So give me a sec.
Mm-hmm. Gwyn, you're tapped out of mana now, aren't you?
Pretty much. I have 3 hull
So-
points.
Okay.
Mina have 10 points.
10 points.
10 points. Sweet. And don't forget, I think everybody except Mina still has at least one standard healing tincture on you.
Not
'Cause-
everybody, like
I don't have one, no.
Do you not?
Sylvia has.
I didn't take one.
I think I gave it. I can't remember who I gave the other one to.
Was
Did
it
I give it to
Justine?
Justine?
I think
Yeah,
it was
it
Justine,
I think
yeah.
it was.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I might cast Healing Tether on Mina, but my last
I'm
mana.
fine. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine.
Will we save it?
You
Maybe
you
for-
are
Are you sure?
you are still in
I'm
the
totally fine.
So just to
We still
clarify,
have to.
you still have to get out
Okay.
of the enchanted Feyfield Forest.
Exactly. Well, I'm
Okay.
fine. Use
Okay.
it. Keep
Yeah.
it.
So,
I mean.
but like, okay, so this is the thing about healing magic.
So I'm hacking off the head,
Yes.
and then I look at it, and then I kind of look at the magic users and go like, can anyone float stuff?
No, I wish.
No.
Okay.
Could just hack it up into smaller bits. I don't know. Maybe take the
No,
eyes.
no, that's
tongue.
fine. That's fine. And then I go and I grab my dagger and I just cut her off her ears.
Okay, delightfully gruesome. The gendarmes were a bit freaked out by seeing you mutilate this. I mean, yes, it was a terrifying giantkin ogress who was literally trying to eat Mina, but seeing her now chop the head of this creature off and then cut its ears off, it's a bit gruesome. And yeah, they're a bit Dubois, like, not at all phased by this. He's a hunter, so he very much understands the idea of taking trophies.
Yeah.
Completely gets this, okay? So the ogress's ears, she has these like long, pointed, slightly drooping ears. That's what they look like. So like each ear is probably the length of your forearm. You know,
Cool.
they're
I cut them both off.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, can I ask, do ogres have any like magical powers, or
Not really.
they're just
no.
kind of beasts? Okay, so there's no
They're-
point.
I mean, they when I
Taken.
say beasts, they are intelligent creatures. Like and in fact, some ogres even learn to use magics as well. So they're not a monstrous animal intelligence, but they are quite ferocious. And
Okay.
they do like, or so you've been told, they do like the taste of human flesh. So yeah, but they're not like a Lutien or a Cadet or any of the other magical fae that you would find here in France, or like the pixies or piskies or knockers that you might find in Cornwall either. You know, so
Okay, so there's no part of it that's worth taking for magical purposes.
not
That was...
well. I'll put it to none of what you would do as a witch, and you do use items as part of some of your spells. None of them you wouldn't use a body part of a fey creature like this for any magics that you currently know.
Okay.
When I'm done chopping the ears off, I want to loot the body.
Okay, so
good idea.
Yeah, so the body of the creature, they actually didn't really have much on them. Like, they were wearing well made now. Like, they weren't in rags. These were pretty well put together animal skins and leathers. So they had a linen tunic, and they had kind of like
Uh-huh.
a kind of a, what was it? It looks like maybe a bison or buffalo type hide, kind of half cape thing over them as well. And their trousers look like they're made of some sort of a soft animal skin, like a deer skin maybe. Fine stout leather boots. You know, but yeah, they don't actually appear to have any pouches or anything on them. In terms of jewelry, the jewelry was like little bits of bone and like fang and
Yeah,
claw, antlery type
not interested
stuff.
in that.
Yeah,
I'll go into the layer and have a
absolutely.
look there.
So going into the lair, give me an awareness roll. And Dubois actually decides to follow you in. If anybody else wants to follow in, they can. He tells
Yeah.
he shouts at the gendarmes, "Okay, keep guard."
I rolled a 19 plus 1. Nee, I mean I
Yay.
rolled an 18 plus 1 is a
Yeah,
19.
yeah, okay.
So,
So, and when you get it, when you go in, Dubois reaches into his one of his pockets and he pulls out a fairy globe. You know what these are? They're basically small enchanted balls. People will have them in their homes. Versions of them
well, I
where
don't need them. I
you
have
don't
dark
need them
vision.
because you have dark vision as a Fey touched, but he is pure human, so he does need it because like there's no light in the cave.
Yeah.
So as I said, these fairy globes, they're a type of magic tech. They're middle class and wealthier families might have them instead of candles and oil lamps in their homes. The super wealthy will even have chandeliers made of them, and many major cities use these kind of enchantments to light their street lamps. So a interesting alternate history. The oceans of this world are teeming with whales because they haven't been hunted for the oil for the lamps of the cities of Europe. So because the all of the major cities use Magitech, they use fairy globes to light their streets. So while whales are hunted, it's nothing close to the level that they historically were hunted in the 19th century. So they are not like they're very common in the oceans. There's tons of them still. They're in no way endangered. So he has his globe out and looking around. Yeah, it's pretty smelly. You see the remnants of a few animals. There looks like a recently killed deer carcass. The remains of some bits of sheep and some cow that you know had been taken from various farms. And off in one side, beside where it had made some bedding from what looked like it had ripped down branches from trees or saplings and made a simple bedding for itself. And actually, what you do see is it appeared to have, you don't know how, maybe it used its sword or something else, formed a simple chimney driving up through the rock and earth above the cave, directly above where it had a fire. So, like, you know, it was, even though it was a cave, it was a relatively cozy cave. But beside the bedding, you do see a sack, a fairly big, by human standards, like rough hewn cloth sack.
Oh yeah, rummage through that, like, you
So
know.
yeah, you guys gone straight over to that, and you see a bunch of things in it. First thing you do start pulling out is clothes that the creature had, spare clothing. You see what looks like some bandages as well.
Way too big for us, though.
Well, they yeah, like the bandages for this creature like would be like a single strip of cloth is like this wide. You know, it's huge. You know, you find what looks to be, you think, a human femur that has bite marks on it and a lot of the marrow sucked out. There is a what looks to be approximately 5 liter keg, and you can hear the sounds of liquid. And then when if you put it down, the ball picks it up, pops up in the cork. Like, oh, wine, nice, and he closes it up. And then looking around a bit more with that awareness roll of 19, I'm not going to make you roll again. You find 3 other interesting items. So
Okay.
the first thing that you see, and this is actually in a small little human-sized pouch, okay, is what looks to be a highly polished piece of dark stone with like metal like swirls going through it. It looks like maybe it could possibly be a piece of polished hematite. Maybe, you're not sure, but similar color to a polished piece of hematite ore. Okay? And you also see beside it what looks to be a compass. A brass compass that has arcane runes etched into it. Okay? And as you hold them up, you notice that as you move your hand slightly, the arrow of the compass, it's not pointing north, it's pointing to the stone. All right. The next thing that you find amongst the stuff is a small little glass tincture. It looks fairly similar to the ones that Sylvia has made. Okay. And then the last thing that you find is a small little glass bottle. Okay. Well made. Heavy kind of glass, and looking into it, you pop it open and there appears to be some sort of oil inside it.
Oh, that could
Yeah,
be oil.
I'll
Drink
pocket
that.
those, thank you.
Okay. You also find another larger pouch, and when you open it up, it's full of gold. And Dubois sees it and says,
Ooh.
interesting. Should we count it out here right now and decide what kind of cut we'll give everybody? I mean, obviously your friends get a cut, but between you and me, those 3 gendarmes, they didn't really do much in the fight.
No, they honestly didn't do much. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, let's do that. You can keep the wine, by the way.
Oh well, I was gonna open it up when we got back to Le Petit Auberge and we could celebrate our
Or
victory.
that, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
of
So how
course.
much gold is in there?
You spend a couple of minutes, it's 150 gold coins. So
Whoa, we
that's
rich.
a lot of money. Like, to put into
Rich.
context for our viewers, somebody working in a factory would make between 8 to 10 silver approximately a week, and it's 10 silver is 1 gold. So 150 gold, that's a lot of money. And he's like, okay,
So
this
that's
is...
between Dubois, that's between me, that's between Sylvia, Gwyn, and Justine.
So what way are we dividing this? 6,
We'll have to
7?
give a couple of pieces of gold to the soldiers. Go on.
Nah,
They were
they
cannon
were
fodder for us.
fucking useless.
Gwen's not there. Gwen's not there.
Gwyn is not there.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I
no,
say,
I
like,
went
well,
in.
Oh, did
I
you?
went
Oh,
in.
apologies.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you went in as well.
alright, I see you, and I say, like, no, they were fucking useless. So we
he's
divided
like,
between
well,
you, Dubois, between myself, between
Okay,
Sylvie.
hold on. We have 150 divided by 6, so that would be, and you see him go down onto the ground, and he starts trying to do the maths on the dirt, and he's like, okay, so
25.
carry the
Jesus.
4,
It's
Yeah.
minus
25.
2,
25.
and so
I
that
just
would
keep
be,
telling him it's
and
25.
and you see he's
It's
really struggling at this.
25.
He's really struggling. He's like,
It's
you know,
25.
when
You
maths.
hear
You're not
Mina
very
hears a
bright,
voice.
are you? It's
Mina hears a
25.
voice in her head from Gwyn's telepathy cantrip saying, "Let him struggle. Let him struggle."
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've been good at counting how much money I
Other
spend
things.
on wine and ale and gifts for beautiful women and how many bullets are in my maths. I never, like the old headmaster will tell you, I was never very good at maths in school. So I think looking at this, I think this is about 33 gold each that we get. Yeah. I think so. And with 7 remainder that we could give to the gendarmes as like a token.
It's
Oh dear.
25. If you divide it by 6, which would be what? Yourself?
Of course, look, why am I arguing with a Swiss woman?
Let's
You
give me
invented,
that.
you
Give me that.
invented,
Give
yeah,
me
you
that.
take the
Give me
goal.
that.
It's like,
Right? I'll take it. And I've divided between, like, to have a cup for him, myself, and the rest of my party, but I'm not gonna give any to the bloody soldiers. Like,
okay. As you're walking back, he does turn to you and he's like, well, the Swiss, they invented banking. I'm not surprised you're so good with the numbers.
Oh, I'm not surprised you're so bad with them.
And he's like, yes,
He has
I've never really needed to rely on my thinking to get by in life.
Oh, I can tell.
So yeah, I'll pocket the gold. I'll give him 25. Is it actually divide by 6? Is it?
Yeah.
All of
150
us,
divided by 6.
all of
Yeah, it
us,
is
and him.
25.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
grand. Before we go out of the cave, I give him the 25, and
Yeah,
I
of course.
pocket the rest.
Yeah.
And I'm
Nice.
not. I say to Gwyn, don't say anything. I'll divide it up between us in the when we get to the
Yeah.
when we get to the hotel. I'm gonna divide it because like I don't want them gendarmes to have anything because like they were absolutely useless and they didn't do anything.
You're saying that
They
as
were
you.
fairly useless.
Do you say that in the cave or outside?
With us. Christina.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh.
I think that's just Discord kicking her out. She's
Yeah,
Yeah.
Discord hates Christina's connection, and it just
fine. It's just
constantly.
kicking her out.
Yeah. So, and Neva's gone as well.
I'm here.
Oh, it's just Discord has moved
It-
stuff around.
Give,
Chris,
give,
yeah.
give her camera a sec.
Here she's coming back now. Although, what the hell's going on with my computer now? Hold on.
Installed it and I've opened it on
Here.
different
Okay,
settings and
yeah.
everything
There we
that
go.
I saw in the internet, and it's still not bloody. Like, and it
So-
always does that. It
Oh,
just
no.
goes for a split second and comes
What
back.
happened?
Like,
What's wrong?
Our cameras on Twitch have frozen again.
Okay.
Is the audio okay? Can people still hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Okay.
god damn it. I have gotten onto my internet service provider. My internet connection is being increased, and I have a new modem I'm installing tomorrow. So hopefully,
We got a new modem today, but
But
it,
I-
we didn't want to
installing
yeah,
it-
you haven't installed
installing
it.
it
Yeah,
tomorrow, and I will soon have 1.5 times the upload speed I currently have. So
Yay.
hopefully this will
we
help.
didn't want to risk anything going wrong, so we're
Yeah.
just leaving it until tomorrow.
Yes.
While
Last week this magically fixed itself as well. We're having the exact same trouble. Nothing is frozen on Discord on our end, but for some reason,
What?
Pauline is not frozen.
right.
I think.
You're the only one who's not from. What
I
kind
don't
of
know.
internet have you got?
I don't know. She's frozen again. She blinked for a minute and
Okay.
then she froze again.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh no!
Okay. So while
It'll
all of
fix itself. Like, yeah, no,
so
that's
while
really
all
annoying.
this
Sylvia.
while all this is happening, Sylvia is just gonna look at Yassine and say, "Well, it's went a lot better since the last time I faced an ogre."
Justine is just going to look at Sylvia and be like,
Okay, the fuck, yeah.
uh-huh, sure. She can't
Yeah.
relate at all about last time seeing Ogre. She's just,
Well,
she's just like,
it was
shocked.
different. So it was pitched battle, so it was very, very different.
yeah.
Looking
Yeah,
at the
I love
gendarmes, she's gonna say like, "I'm just glad it was only once this time."
They're looking at you at awe because they're like that one ogress had them completely terrified. They were trying to fight, but they were so overcome with fear. They were missing all their shots. Even though this creature was like 3.5 meters tall, like over 10.5 foot tall, a big creature, they were still missing. And the one who's gonna jammed, he's like, this rifle would need to be repaired properly.
I won't be able to fix that. I can see from here.
Yeah. So yeah, but hopefully we don't need it. We still have to get out of this forest. So yes, right. So when they all get back out, Gwyn, Mina, and Dubois get back out of the lair, and Mina, I'm assuming that you left the clothing and the half-chewed human
what?
femur.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck this shit. That can be in the cave. Like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm not taking that useless right. I'm just taking the really nice stuff, like, you know.
And do you show it to them, or are you just putting it into
Nah.
stick it in your bag?
I just stuck it in my bag, not
Cool.
saying anything, and
Cool. No, that's
gone.
cool. That's cool. Okay, so Dubois said, okay, well, we'll need to find our way out of here. So Who wants to try and help me find the trail? So does somebody want to help Dubois with
Oh
a
yeah, I have
bushcraft roll?
bushcraft.
Yeah.
I go up and I'll
Are you going to roll separately, or do you want to assist Dubois?
I'll just assist him. It'll be fine.
Okay, right. So.
Because I'm taking out the cloth and I'm cleaning Albert of the blood. Like.
Oh yeah, no, of course, respect. It's important that you clean your halberd. So just give me 1 second, pulling up his character sheet. I
The
know
pink ribbon is just red now at this stage, so.
So yeah, that's a +8. That's 21, 22.
We can buy you a new ribbon at the market, Mina.
Yeah, no. I need some more ribbons. I think of the pink one I have, and then I want a blue one, and then maybe like a baby blue one, and maybe I gonna get a green one as well. We'll see.
So yeah, he's pretty sure he's found the track. And he's okay. I think this is the way we're gonna be going. So let's all be very careful. It took like you were a good hour and a half to get in to the forest. You know, when you were coming in to find the ogre. So you're going to be at least an hour and a half getting out, assuming that the forest doesn't start moving its trails and its trees. Yeah. But
while we're walking, Sylvia is just going to say to Mina, "You've got a little bit of red."
Oh yeah, Mina is covered in ogre blood.
Oh yeah, I know. But Sylvia's like, "You've got a little bit just there, and also here, and also all over."
I know I'm covered because I got completely showered.
I am sorry about. I am sorry about that. It was kind of unavoidable. You were very close.
That's just occupational hazard.
Yeah, maybe we could arrange. You could have a bath when we get back to the inn. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have my everything cleaned. It'll be fine. I just throw on my dress when I'm when we are celebrating. Be fine.
So you start making your way. Can someone roll a d12 for me, please?
No.
Oh no.
Oh, go on, Neve. You'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, I have it here. That is a 2.
Is that a good roll? I mean, I don't know.
Oh.
It's a good roll.
I don't know. Could be anything. Could be anything.
Oh, interesting. Okay, hold on.
No.
Interesting.
No.
I hate.
It's not good when he says that.
What? This is actually very interesting. Hold on 1 moment. Sorry, please. I did terribly disorganized. 1, 2, 3.
And count on me for a low roll. Sure.
Justine, can you roll a d6 for me, please? Justine.
I'm not mentally prepared for what's going to happen.
This random, and sometimes he just rolls dice just to fuck with us. 4. So what's a 4?
Is 4 a good roll?
Okay, right.
Probably 4 of whatever creature.
Okay.
4 dragons. The end.
Don't even joke! Oh my god! You do not know how bad that would be.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, it's still the color. Okay, right, cool. Right, so, all right, you're walking along. Yeah, you're not entirely wrong, Laura. So you're walking along. Dubois leading the way, and
fuck's sake,
Mina, you're helping him with the trail. He's like, and as you're going along, he just pointed out a few times, like, this guy really knows the forest well. You can see why he's able to get in and out with relative ease. He's pointing out tree gnomes that you did not see. They're perfectly camouflaged into the bark and the likes. And as you're walking along for a bit, he then suddenly stops. He says, "Oh my god, I've not seen one of them in quite some time." And he points up at the at a branch. Okay.
Yeah, like a dragon, I swear to God.
Oh God.
And yeah, so
very dragon.
Mina, can you give me an awareness roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
My nerves.
Natural 20.
That was the only thing that was going to let you see this, because I rolled a... Hold on, let me do my sums. plus 6. I rolled a 35.
Oh.
Yeah. So yes, I rolled a 35. So the only thing that was what
Christ!
what you see is what looks like a what do they call a burl in the tree, in the wood, you know, a bulge in the side of the trunk coming down into a branch. But as you look closer, you realize that's not wood. That is a creature that has perfectly camouflaged itself to look like the bark of the wood, as a reptilian eye suddenly appears as the bark peels open, revealing this eye, and it's seeing you, seeing it, and realizing it has been spotted. It slowly starts to move. Looks like the bark is actually moving, and as it does in this dappling effect, it changes from the lightish brown wood of this oak to the light grassy green color of a dragon about the size of a large cat that is looking down at you all.
So I'm standing there and I'm next to Dubois because
Yeah.
I'm helping him, right? And I'm literally grabbing him in the arm. I'm like, is that what I think it is?
Yeah,
Oh my god, it's
yes,
so
it is. Be
cute!
careful as he slowly starts to raise his rifle.
Oh no! Do you have to?
Well, it'd be a fine
Can we
trophy
not
on my
leave
wall.
it? Oh no!
Now the
Come
rest of you are spotting
on!
this. Now the fairy dragon has moved and broken its natural camouflage. See this miniature dragon that is perched on a branch, looking down at you all.
Does Dubois look like he's actually going to shoot it?
Oh, he looks like he's
Yeah.
actually going to try and shoot the thing. Yes.
Okay.
Behind him and it's wave.
I'm going to use
Albert.
Arcane Spark
Okay.
and just try and zap his hand that's
So,
holding the gun.
Arcane Spark, as I said before, what that does is it basically creates like sparks like you would get from flint and steel that will light tinder, you know? That's what that does, okay?
Oh, flammable. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Now-
then
now-
in that case, I will firebolt to that.
You're going to
You-
cast
Yeah.
Firebolt on it. Okay.
Spend
Yeah.
mana.
Yeah, it's Gwyn.
Yeah.
Okay, so he will get to do a dex check to try and dodge that.
Yes.
I rolled really bad, even though he has pretty good dex. No,
Okay.
that was actually only an 11.
D4 plus magic. So 3, 4, 7.
Okay, you blast his hand, and he goes, "Curses! Was it what? You could have just said stop." As he looks at his slightly scorched hand.
Don't touch it.
Does anybody else want to do anything? The dragon looks slightly spooked, but hasn't fled.
Yeah, I'm waving Albert behind Dubois' head, like, you know, like.
Okay, and Sylvia, Justine.
Sylvia's taking a step back away from, but she's going to say to Justine, I have heard they are excellent companions to sorcerers.
Justine, you would know that for whatever reason it is, no one knows, sorcerers are actually able to take fairy dragons as familiars if they find a creature that is willing to be their familiar.
Oh my
How
goodness.
do I do that?
You could
Try to
try
get
to approach the animal and charm it.
I'll try to do that, yeah, because I think
Do
he
it.
really likes it.
Okay.
You have food in my pocket. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Oh god, not this again.
I want to give Justine some food, so
Okay.
maybe she can charm it with food.
Okay, I'm just very quickly looking at other people's.
I know, not this again. I
Character
know,
sheets
like,
to see if anybody has anything that might help. Not really.
no.
Big one. We almost got eaten by feral fairy dragons
Oh, we
because
did.
of
Okay,
Christina's
so
character.
okay, Yassine, you very slowly try to approach the creature. You've got a piece of food out. Give me a charm roll. So that's
I'm
your
crossing everything.
D20
Very
and
close.
D20 and add your charm.
Same.
Please.
Or want this
You
We want a pet. We want a pet. We
So
want that.
unfortunately, you don't have any talents that would help you with this, so it's going to be a straightforward roll with your charm score of 1. So
I can't help her with charm, can I?
not with this, no. If any of you
No.
there's not really any skills that would help with this.
Okay.
There are certain spells that might, but none of you have them.
16?
Okay. Just give me one
No,
more.
17.
Oh,
16, I rolled
oh.
16, so +1.
17. Oh, I want this for you.
Okay, so the creature just crawls down. It's able to like crawl straight down the tree like a gecko or something like that. And it hops down onto the ground and it kind of on all fours just comes up to you a bit and it's kind of sniffing suspiciously at your hand. Okay. What's everybody else doing around Justine as this is happening? Does anybody...
I'm holding my
Not
breath.
even moving. Yeah,
No,
just
I'm
so-
holding my
Sylvia's
breath.
staying really still.
If anybody wants to do anything to try and assist Justine, what would you do?
I would. I don't know. My charm is okay. Oh no.
But that no,
You're not great.
I
I
mean
don't know why I
like,
had better charm than I do. Is there anything we can do?
this is up to you. If you can think of anything clever or anything to maybe assist in this, you know.
And if I tossed her my amulet of fortune, now I
Which
know
you-
what that does. Oh
You
Jesus, I don't have it.
yet.
You'll have,
You
you haven't
Oh.
gotten it, like, yeah.
still haven't got that rabbit's foot to make it. Because otherwise
Please don't
you
let me-
could have.
Oh fuck.
Sylvia?
Don't have anything.
I do have some food. I maybe probably have some food, so I'm gonna just like. Yes.
Sylvia, actually, I'm going to say that because you have training in Phalor and were literally trained in druidry by Moistleute, by a woodwife from German folklore, like the Germanic equivalent of a dryad. So I'm giving you a Phalor roll on this to see what you might know about fairy dragons. Because Justine has arcane lore, not Phalor.
Okay, so. Sorry, my intellect that's a 17, I think.
17 total.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. So yeah, you're like, okay, they like.
Oh, sorry, it's actually a 16.
Okay.
16.
Okay,
I
so
have Phalor, so.
okay, right. So yeah, I'd say with that you'd know. So well, fairy dragons, they come in a variety of different shades and colors. Their colors are like seem almost like the colors of dogs, and that the color of the coat doesn't seem to have any bearing on the dragon itself.
Okay.
Like there's not even when fairy dragons get older, they have a breath weapon that they can use. They can breathe out flame or acid or lightning, but there's no correlation between the color of the dragon and its breath weapon, for example.
Okay.
But you would know that, like, in general, they love insects, they love nuts, they love berries, especially. They love fish. So you would know these are the kind of foods that they do especially like.
Okay, so do I have some? I assume I have some like little nuts in my pouch or something.
You might have some dried nuts, but don't forget you also have your nature craft.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna. In that case, I assume I can just make like a little.
I'm gonna say with that spell, you could make a very small cluster of berries. Like that cantrip wouldn't be enough to feed people, but you could make a small cluster of berries.
I know.
If you give me a magic roll first, I want to see how good this is.
Oh, so that's a 22.
Okay, right. You managed.
I rolled an 18. So
Nice. So,
my magic
so you managed to like conjure up just a small little what you see Justine is curling up out of the ground, a tiny little like 15-20 centimeter long bramble, and a small cluster of like 5 or 6 of the juiciest blackberries you've ever seen in your life appear at it. It's just at your foot as the creature is very carefully taking some of the food from your left hand. So, are you doing anything?
No, I'm just watching.
Okay. Do you want to feed it with the berries as well?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so you feed it with the berries. It's really liking these berries. Give me a fresh charm roll.
Please.
I want a
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
12.
No,
Okay.
wait. Can I give you?
A
No, I
D8?
can't. No, I can't.
Can
Oh,
you?
can
Can
I?
you? Can you what?
Can I give her my D8?
The inspiration die? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
you can. So
Roll a
you're
D8.
gonna get you're giving Justine so Justine roll a D8 and add it to the total. Neve is giving you her inspiration die.
Yes.
You can always give inspiration to another player.
Okay.
I just need to find my D8. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never.
Yeah, I know that
Never
feeling.
use them.
I
Once
buy
they go
sets and I
missing.
never have D8s. I don't know what it
Yeah.
I
is.
know.
But
That's
you
They
buy
disappear.
What was that?
Okay, that's
A
7. So
7.
19. Okay. With that 19, the creature is very interested in you. It's taking the berries from you, and it then just hops up onto your arm and crawls up onto your shoulder as it's nibbling away at the berries.
Oh my
I love this for you.
god.
So
You have to think of a name. Oh my god, I'm so excited. We have a pet.
the boy looks at this and he's like, women, it would have made a perfect trophy, and now she's turned it into a lapdog. Let's get going.
Yeah, but
God.
they're
He just loves
also
me.
it will also increase her magical ability
Yes.
and make her more powerful.
So we will actually, I can discuss this with you now because I know chat wants to hear this too. But where is it now?
Yay!
Apologies. So,
He needs to think about that now.
so spellcasters, technically all, but especially sorcerers, can take fairy dragons as familiars. In order to do this, you will need to perform a ritual, which you did learn in university when you were studying to be a sorcerer. It'll take 2 hours to complete and will cost 100 silver worth of materials, which you can order via Arcanagram from the nearest city, like you did for your other supplies. And when this happens, you will gain the following benefits. When the fairy dragon is within 3 meters of you, your spell might is increased by the magic score of the fairy dragon, which is a +1 because it's a baby fairy dragon. If the fairy dragon is in line of sight of the caster and in range no more than 30 meters, the caster can focus a spell through the dragon instead of itself for the purpose of calculating range or area of effect of spells. Okay? So if you have a spell that's got a range of 10 meters from you, but your fairy dragon's 12 meters from it, it can cast it 10 meters from the dragon, okay? When the fairy dragon is within 100 meters of the master, you can communicate simple commands telepathically. They can't reply verbally, but they will make you aware of what they're feeling. And while within 30 meters, you can choose to see through the dragon's senses, but you're like blind and that while that's happening, okay? Now, however, if your familiar ever were to die, you must succeed a fortitude stamina roll versus a target number of 19. Okay? Or suffer the following effects. Permanently lose 1d10 plus 5 from your mana pool. Suffer 1d6 damage. And then temporarily lose an additional d12 of mana, which would be recovered after a long rest. This fairy dragon is very young, and fairy dragons have a lifespan of approximately 60 years. So if all is good, this fairy dragon will probably live as long as you do, maybe even slightly longer. So yes.
What happens to him or her, to them, if I die?
They are freed, or not freed, because it's not like a bondage thing, but they just become like, they return to the wild. They will be sad in the way when a dog's owner might pass away, they are sad, but it's that kind of an emotional connection.
They don't get any damage or anything.
They don't suffer any grievous effect from their sorcerer dying, but because of the connection that you make with them, you would. So yes, protect it with your life. And if any,
We will all protect.
We will all protect it.
chat, if
Absolutely.
chat has any recommendations for names, feel free. We can't promise we'll take them, but I'm curious to know. So yes,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Neil,
anyway,
out of
how will we know
curiosity,
if it's a boy or a girl? Is there a way to know?
not right now. You could maybe ask it when you've completed the ritual.
We're not
Yeah,
going to.
and then you can choose the
We'll
you
go
can choose the
gender
name.
neutral.
Sorry, Gwyn. Did you
Yeah.
did you have a question for me?
I was just wondering what other creatures in the game can be familiars.
That is the only one.
Ah, okay.
Yes, but
Cool.
witches have their own interesting things that they can do. So
Oh.
when you get to a slightly higher level,
Intriguing.
similar to certain abilities the druids get. So anyway, but fairy dragons are the own. I mean, maybe in the final released version of Faearth, we might have other familiars in the game. That's still to be decided. Work in progress.
It's so cute, too.
Yes.
I honestly,
It's so cute.
I'm so happy we found that thing.
So, right. So he's continuing on for another like 30 or so minutes. When Dubois is still leading the way, okay, and this dragon is kind of. They do like crawl down and they're looking for more food in amongst your clothes. So I think Mina and Sylvia are just giving you bits of like berries or not berries and nuts and stuff that they have on them, you know.
Totally.
But you're going along.
Sorry, I'm just gonna open the door for a putty cat here.
Okay,
Start
your
today.
familiar is being demanding. Okay.
Yeah, totally. My real life familiar is like, meh. So, thank God the door is not far away from my computer.
Right. So you're
My familiar is sleeping somewhere.
Yeah.
you are continuing walking along for about another 35, 40 minutes when Dubois stops and he's like, Does anybody else hear that?
Hear what?
Give me awareness rolls.
What fresh hell is this?
Oh, no.
I'm death. I just
No.
rolled a 1.
I rolled a 2. Plus
got
1 is
an
3.
11.
Of course,
I got
after the nat
11.
20, it'll literally just turn on its side. It's hilarious. Like,
No.
fuck's sake, like.
I'd ask you all to give me awareness rolls. Dubois was walking along and he stopped. He says, "Did people hear that?" You all rolled terrible in your awareness rolls, didn't you?
I got 11.
Yeah, the target number was a 12.
Yeah.
And he says, "I can hear what snoring."
Oh no.
Oh, no. Okay.
Let's
Where is it coming from?
up ahead, about 15 meters off slightly to the right.
Right. Well, we can ignore it. And just keep going.
Unfortunately, the trail goes up ahead and like
Oh, no.
not exactly in the direction we're going, but pretty bloody close. So, shall we continue? Let's just all be very careful, very quiet, okay? All right. So, everybody, give me stealth rolls.
Okay, before Justine does a stealth roll, once again you explained it last time, but I forgot.
Oh, it's just Dex. Yeah, which for
Can
you
I
is
use
0.
stealth
So for
roll?
you,
Yeah.
it's a straight D20 roll because you don't have anything to add to this. Yeah,
I can't use stone stealth, yeah?
Yeah,
Because we're in the forest.
well, no. Oh, yeah, the stone cell thing. Yeah, that only like that doesn't work here because because it doesn't work in areas where there's like a lot of plant life. It like if you were walking along like dirty or like dirt, or even actually like a great example. If you cast stone stealth and you're on a beach, you would leave no tracks. Yeah, but here in the forest where there's lots of plant life, the spell won't work. So.
19. Huh.
Oh, okay, cool. Gwyn, what did you get?
I rolled an 8 plus 1. Can I add quick reflexes or
No.
acrobatics?
No, you would add hide if you had that. Mina, what did
Okay.
you get? Mina?
Can I add my dex?
Oh, yeah, it is Dex, but you don't have any other talents or skills that you could add to this, so.
12.
Okay, and Sylvia?
17.
Okay, and don't forget, you have advantage because you're in a natural setting, so you roll twice, take the higher value.
Oh, well, no, 17 was definitely better.
Okay. Right. So, like Dubois, and actually the gendarmes are being very quiet as well, surprisingly. So, Dubois, Sylvia, Justine, you rolled really well, didn't you?
19, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
gendarmes are going pretty quiet. Gwyn, Mina, not so quiet. As you're following along the trail, and you see the trail kind of branches off, kind of curves off to the left. But you actually, now that you are closer, you can all hear this faint sound of snoring. And you look off in the direction, and you can see there's a slight fork in the trail. And about 2 meters along that line, you see the most bizarre looking thing ever. Slumped at the foot of a tree, asleep, appears to be a farmer.
Huh? A farmer.
Yes, a farmer.
Okay.
And as Dubois looks, he says, "That's Macron. He's been missing for like 5 days."
Oh,
Oh,
that.
oh.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Huh?
I was going to say we should leave him, but no, we should.
No.
definitely-
He's been missing for like 5 days. We actually all thought he'd ended up where you'd been, that you'd been taken away by the fairies into the Fey realm. But there's been there's a couple of farmers that have gone missing since while you were on your own adventures there. A couple of farmers had gone missing. Macron, he went missing about, I think, 5, maybe 6 days ago. I'm not sure. And he walks straight over to the guy and he's like, Christian! And he starts shaking him. And he's like, he's not waking up. Hold on. He just goes, smack across the guys, and he gives him a belt. And you're like, you're expecting teeth to come flying out as the farmers go, and his eyes shoot open, and he's like, "Man, what? Am I in the forest?"
it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You are, but we're going to get you out of the forest now.
What?
Are you okay? Are you
Dubois,
hurt?
did you come in here to find me, Dubois? And he's like, "Of course I did, my friend. Of course. Let's get you up off the ground." And he's like, "How long has it been?" And he like doubles over, and he's grabbing his stomach. He's like, looks like he's in pain. As opposed, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" He's like, I think I'm gonna, I've never, I feel like I haven't eaten in a week. Oh,
5 days, you said, Dubois, yeah? So you're close.
what,
almost.
what's 5 days? And the water turns and was like, "Christian, you've been missing for 5 days. We thought that the fairies had taken you." He's like, "No, the last thing I remember, I was walking home from the pub, and I heard the sound of music.
Oh.
Uh,
Right,
That's
but I think that we should keep walking anyway.
okay.
Oh. It is good that we found you, though.
Yes, who knows what would have happened? The, I'm, s- I don't know.
you probably wouldn't have ever woken up.
I would have died here.
Starved.
Sylvia's gonna
What
like
the-
take out some food. Like I assume I have something.
You have a little bit left. Justine's new best friend has been eating a lot of your food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've no problem
I
feeding it.
just always assume that, like, the keepers at the Petit Auberge are packing or something, like, I'm so bad.
Yeah.
Well, so when he's left, you like Mina and Sylvia. Mina with your background, mercenary training, and Sylvia probably the fact that you lived in a forest, but also your former soldier background. The two of you always keep some sort of snacks or food on you. But when he's relieving, yes, and Marie from Le Petit Auberge from the Inn you're staying in did give you some bread and a small bit
I
of
just
cheese.
always assume they on
Yeah,
a day
yeah.
they pack something
I'm gonna
for
give.
us.
I assumed I had some bread. I'm gonna give him some bread. I'm just gonna. It's not much, but
And
it's
he's like,
something.
"Does anybody have any water? I'm very thirsty."
Oh, there is some wine.
No, he should have water.
That's all I have. Like, there is some wine.
Sylvia, you give him some of your water skin.
I have a water. I assume I have a water.
Yeah,
skin
you have a
because
water
I'm
skin. So
tall
he gives
like
him
that.
water and he guzzles it down. Like he drinks the entire bottle. You've got like probably about 700, 800 mils in your water bottle, in your water skin, and you just guzzle. Like the guy appears to have not eaten or drank in like 5 days. So it's amazing
Okay.
it's amazing he didn't die.
Nearly dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that
First, like,
exactly the fact that he didn't die of dehydration itself is quite remarkable. So
Yeah.
you
wow.
know, you do, like some sort of fey magic maybe, but anyway, and he takes a bit of bread, and as he gets like as soon as he starts drinking the water, you see some color coming back to his skin, and to his face, and he's okay, that's Dubois. You gonna get us out of here? And he's like, and as you continue on, he's like, so, ladies, did you go missing as well? Oh, wait, no, you're that group that arrived here recently. Yes, the
we were in the forest today to fight an ogre. That's
and
been done, and
at
now
that
we're going home.
it's at that moment he
I,
realizes.
I still covered in blood.
Yeah, he realizes Mina
Yeah.
is covered in blood, and he's like he drops the bread. He's like, Gio, like,
That's the ogre blood. It's not mine.
and he picks
She's
up he
fine.
picks up the bread, and he's just like mouthing the bread, not even eating it. He's looking like Mina is a very terrifying sight right now. Like, think we know that the end scene of Carrie.
Yeah.
Harry, yeah.
Okay, so think that only carrying a halberd, and instead of
And 2
looking
years.
horrified and angry, this terrifyingly maniacal smile on her face. Okay, that's what you see. Okay, blood covering everything. All right, although the halberd is
You want to see
pristine.
tears?
The halberd is pristine. It is perfectly clear and clean. Okay, but so yeah, so it's like, okay, that's
Sorry,
okay.
none of it is her blood. It's fine.
Okay, well, I need to get my bearings again. The was on fire tonight. Like I rolled a 28 on that bushcraft roll there. He really knows what he's doing, and he's like, okay, right. I know where we're going. Let's keep going. Let's keep together. Christian, you stay between us and the gendarmes. So the gendarmes are at the back, and and he's okay. Let's just
How are
keep.
they looking with the whole thing? Are they looking like
They're
"What the fuck?"
like they're local, so they're like already. They were not happy with the idea of coming in. They were terrified of coming into
Yeah.
this forest. None of the locals come in here normally because it's full of fae. The
Yeah.
fact that you were deliberately going in to track down an ogre and try and kill it, they've had a pretty traumatic experience. So you just continue along. Can someone roll a d12 for me, please?
Go on,
Well,
Neve.
Last time I did it, we got a new pet, so. Jesus, where's it gone? Okay. There we go. That is a 9.
Oh,
9.
okay.
Is
Right.
that a good roll? I mean, I don't know.
So you're traveling along for another little bit, going along fine, and then another 20-30 minutes, when all of a sudden, it's Mina and Dubois at the very front, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then who's behind Mina and Dubois?
Sylvia.
Is anybody
I'll be
walk-
beside Justine and the fairy dragon, giving
Oh.
it all my food.
Okay, so it's Mina Dubois, then Sylvia, and then Gwyn and Justine behind them. I'd say the farmer is kind of staying close to you two with the gendarmes behind. Okay, so you're walking along, and Mina and Sylvia, you're in the front. You see this black streak of movement swoop across the path in front of you, and then following it, you see alighting on a branch a raven.
Oh,
Oh no.
Hello,
It's the lady.
Nevermore.
is it? No, it might.
How are you? Is it you?
Is who me?
Yeah,
Did
it
we-
is you.
did
Do
we
you have
meet you
any
before?
news?
What?
Oh.
Are you the ravens that we met before?
The one that helped you out of the fire realm? Yeah, of course it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it is you. How are you?
It
You
is
know,
good to see you
We
again.
we don't actually all look the same.
I
Of
know.
course not. We're
I
just
know that.
stupid. That's all.
We actually look quite different to each other. Unlike you humans, you all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
but
we are
to
just
e-
we're
to,
just
to
stupid
each
humans.
other. Yeah. How are you?
Better than that ogre.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you see it? Yeah, sorry about that. It was just causing a lot of havoc.
Yep. they do that.
Mm.
Certainly,
we are
you certainly made a mess of it when you killed it.
we are looking to get out of the forest now.
Well, you're along the right track. I'd say you've got another
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes and you'll probably be out
Yeah.
unless you get hopelessly lost again like you humans like to do. Just,
Well, we don't like
I
to.
think we're okay.
don't go through any archways made of hawthorn.
Not
Yeah,
if we can help
yeah.
it.
We've learned a lesson.
Yeah, because like
Thank you.
the last time you were guests of my mistress and she had said that if you get lost she would send me to aid you, but she has now done that and fulfilled that promise.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I realized
So
that. So
yeah, if you get lost again you are on your own.
I know.
Well,
I'm
okay.
sure we'll be fine. Do you have any news of your mistress?
No, but I haven't
Is she
talked to her.
keeping well? Oh, you haven't talked to her. Well, if you see her, say we say hello and we wish she's well. Yeah.
Well, don't worry. If she wants to talk to you, you'll get the message
Oh
very
yeah, no,
quickly.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm just being polite. I just hope she's well and
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll let you go. Try not to kill anything else.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Sorry,
hate
Christy.
your
It's okay. You're back. It's all
God,
good.
it always only it's only a second
Yeah.
always, like, you know.
So,
But I hate it.
as
There we go.
he's try not to kill anything, and he stretches out his wings, and with a leap and a flick of his wings,
Not unless we have to. Bye.
and Dubois turns his
Oh.
eye. You're friends with birds as well.
Well,
Yes, we're very powerful, as we've said before. Wouldn't want to mess with us.
you see, Monsieur Dubois, when we met with the elf, of the lady of this forest, she sent a raven to help us in case we got lost, and then we promptly did. Ended up in the Fey realm. The raven guided us out.
Okay.
Friend.
Just very deadpan German Berlin kind of. This happened. It's fine. Don't
We have
worry
eyes
about it.
everywhere.
Okay. Well, all I'd say is I guess I'll probably just be a bit more careful of anything I hunt in here while we're here. But anyway,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
let us continue. The raven did say we are nearly out of the forest, so that is good. Okay, well, let us continue on. So, he's going to do another bushcraft roll. Yeah, that was also phenomenally
I
good.
ate it like good.
Yeah, like that. I think that's my worst roll for his bushcraft so far this session, and that was a 24.
I want to, like, Mina's deliberately, like, you know, look at what he's doing and see if she can kind of
He's
pick
ju-
up tricks or
like
something.
you can tell from looking at him. This is a man who has years of experience being in forests. It's like it's no one thing,
Like,
you
I
know.
grew up in the mountains and I was in forest, but not this
Not forest,
forest.
yeah. Well, I mean
Not this
yeah,
forest.
the forest that you would have grown up in Switzerland wouldn't have been quite the same as this. Okay, and also he is a bit older than you. I mean, Mina is what 20, isn't she? 19, 20?
22.
22. Okay, so this guy looks like he's probably about 28, 29.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's a few years ahead.
he is.
That's why she's trying to kind of look what exactly he's doing, see if she can pick up some tricks.
Yeah, no, of course,
Yeah.
absolutely. Can someone roll a d12 for me, please? Who?
I'll do it.
Someone else this time.
I'll do it.
I don't
Okay,
You'll do
Sylvia,
it.
Sylvia, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I need to find a d12 first, though, because they're not dice that I'd have out. Okay, that was a 7, and I don't know if that was a good roll or not.
Interesting.
Oh, Jesus, stop it!
So, you are continue along for another little bit, and you walking along the trail, eyes peeled, ears peeled, looking out, trying to make sure nothing jumps out at you.
Sing along.
and you hear the sound of somebody humming a tune, a jolly little tune.
I put my fingers in my ears.
Okay.
The hills are alive. No, the forest is alive.
So, and as you slowly creep a bit further forward, coming
Mm-hmm.
along the trail, just about a meter or so ahead of you, you see a very colorful but perhaps alarming, but definitely unusual sight. Sitting on a very large red toadstool is
Uh-huh.
a luthian, a fairy, a
Okay.
man who looks to be the equivalent of somebody in maybe their early 40s. He's tiny. He's probably only about 25, 30 centimeters tall, sitting down, wearing beautiful, brightly colored reds with gold trim, of rich emerald green waistcoat, fine breeches, highly polished boots, as he's just humming to himself, kind of chilling and relaxing. As you all come outside, and he sees you, I was like, "Oh, bonjour."
Bonjour. Is it your man again? What's his
No,
name?
you do not recognize this
Oh,
face.
okay.
You've not met this guy before. Oh, nice to meet you, Monsieur. What happened to? I'm pointing at Mina. What happened to that one?
Oh,
Oh, I
Oh,
had the shower in
nothing.
blood.
She's fine. She always
she's
looks this
okay.
way. Sorry to disturb you. We were just on our way out.
Okay. And he's just looking at Mina because, as I said, she's quite a terrifying sight. He's like, okay, like, oh, you found, oh, interesting. Those creatures are pointing now at the fairy dragon on Justine's shoulder, and the fairy dragon sees the lieutenant and then looking at it, and kind of like you hear the softest little kind of snarl is like, oh, it's one of them. He doesn't like it. It doesn't look like it's going to attack her or anything, but it's just like, yeah, no, icky. And they're actually not that friendly, those beasts. So if you could maybe keep it away from me, I'd appreciate it. Sometimes we don't get on, my kind and them. So yes,
You know, not everybody has to get along. We can just keep a respectful distance and
well, if it doesn't keep a respectful distance, it will make a very fine pair of boots. So
See about that.
Justine is just trying to like, kind of turn away from the creature, just
yeah,
trying to like
yeah,
We'll protect it with my life.
yeah. um.
you're not touching, are you
So
mascot?
So what has you mortals in our forest? You generally don't come in here, because when you do, stuff like that happens. And he points at Mina.
Yeah, so
Well, are you from... I'm looking for that stupid name of that other one we find because I want to ask it if it's from the same clan.
oh,
I'll just use lesser telepathy to Sylvia and say, should we tell it about the ogre? What if it gets offended?
And remember, you only have what's it, 8
Oh.
words.
Okay.
Really
Should
Oh,
we
I
tell
would-
it about the ogre?
The ogre.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think bad idea.
I agree.
Bad idea. Okay.
I agree.
So, have you found your note, Christina?
I'm looking through it and I know I wrote it down
No,
somewhere.
you need to find it quickly, or we'll move on.
I know. Yeah, never mind. No, I just say like, oh, we are drawn here by the power that is in that forest.
I see. Interesting. I thought it was only
We can feel it.
Okay, that's very interesting. I thought it was only my kind that were aware of that. So, Mina, can you roll me a deception check, please? Because that's bullshit.
What do I add? Nothing.
Nothing, because you have a charm of
That
0.
would be charm, and I
Yeah.
have a charm of 0. 13.
Okay.
Totally.
Can I assist with my charm of 1?
How would you assist in her lie?
I would say, It's hard to know what side he's on. I would say, yes, we've met the lady. Leave it kind of vague.
Okay. He looking at you, it's quite obvious he does not believe Mina.
Okay. Sylvia is then
But
gonna.
when Gwyn says what she says, you kind of get the feeling he knows you're telling the truth. So like, even though your friend is clearly lying and full of crap, you are telling the truth. It's like, and he doesn't know now. That's thrown him. He's like, he doesn't know now what to think of you all, because if you've said you've met the lady of the forest, he's like, and he believes you. He's like, okay, very interesting. Well, if you are friends of the lady, then I will make sure not to delay you.
We are, and we appreciate that, and I'm sure
Thank
she
you
will as
so
well.
much.
Well, lovely to meet a friend or friends of the lady of the forest. I'm sure we'll see each other again very soon.
Likewise, yes.
And
Let's go.
okay,
Move.
you continue on, and you see him like he's popped down off the toadstool, and he's standing beside it, looking at you all. And as like the trail that you're on kind of curves around a bit, and you see him step around as if he wants to keep a line of sight with you, as you'd becoming kind of like the toadstool's kind of getting slightly in his way. So, but as he moves around, and you expect him to turn the other side, he's gone. He does not appear.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
right. So you continue on, and after about another 20 minutes or so, you finally see yourselves coming towards the edge of the forest.
Are we at the Castilian farm?
So when you come out,
Don't remind me.
Dubois looking at us like, mate, we didn't come
What?
out where we're north. We came out north of the forest. We needed to be southwest of the.
Oh, you're kidding. How many days or how long are we
No,
talking?
like we're talking about. It's gonna be about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get all the way back around to the road back to Cheville.
Okay.
But look, it's not the worst. Okay, at least we're out now. We won't get lost again. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he starts banking left west, and you travel along following the edge of the forest, just going across farmland. Eventually, you do get to the Share River, and he said, "Okay, if we just go up a little bit, there's a small ford that we can cross at, and we should be fine." And you go about 10 minutes along the bank, and you do see a section where there's some stones, and the river's a little bit more shallow. And as you are crossing, Justine, your new familiar suddenly leaps off your shoulder, dives for the water, lands on a rock, leaps up into the
Fish.
air, wings furled out, dives into a deeper section of river, and then shoots back up, carrying a small trout in its hands, in its clawed hands, as it arcs up, flying along nice and high, chewing away, and then curves back down, landing on your shoulder.
Nina's literally clapping her hands. Oh, well done! You're so clever.
Good dragon.
While
so
he's
clever.
right beside your face, he's chewing on this raw piece of fish. It's very smelly. It's very slimy. It's not cute at all. As it's
She's like merchant's daughter. She like spent some of her childhood in like ports
yeah.
near the river, so she doesn't care about like smelly fish.
No, you don't care about smelly fish, but you know, fish guts right beside your face is a different
Yeah, I
story. You
suppose.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I think after like witnessing Mina just like cutting off the Ogress head,
Yeah.
Justine just
In fairness,
does not
yeah.
care anymore.
So
She's
yeah,
okay. She's okay with this.
This is the
She's
new
like,
normal.
yeah, I'll have to put everything in the laundry anyways.
yes. So eventually, yes,
How are the gendarmes looking now? Are they still?
they
like-
look relieved to be out of the forest. You can see the tensions left their bodies. They're so much happier now, so much more relieved. And eventually, you do come back along, and you find yourself on the main road, and start walking towards the town of Cherville. And after about 10 minutes, you see you are passing near the Castillon farm. And
I'm gonna leave them alone.
outworking on the field near the farm, you see Monsieur Castillon.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Hide me.
Yes. So you see Monsieur Castillon Jean, the father of Juliette, the young lady that you had been courting of sorts, and he sees you all coming out.
Can I just hide behind Sylvia and just kind of link her arm and say, I'm sorry, but this is an emergency?
Not
and
really.
just kind of.
Sylvia is not big enough for you to like.
Oh.
You could have hidden behind Dubois because he's a barrel of a man.
I don't need that man.
But
But I need someone.
As Dubois waves, he's like, "Bonjour, Jean. How are you?" And he comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, Dubois, it's mad." And he sees Mina covered in blood because she's walking beside Dubois. He's like, and he sees. He sees you all. His eyes do alight on yours for a moment, Gwyn, as he continues on. Is that Macron? I thought he was. And you see the farmer is like, yes, we found him. He'd been captured by some fey magic. He was asleep under a tree in the forest. Oh, we've killed that ogre, by the way. I was like, oh, that's a relief. It had been bothering many of the farmers.
You
in the
mean we killed the ogre?
Well, he did say we killed the ogre. He didn't say I. He didn't say I. He said we killed the ogre. I'll get my wagon, okay, and I can drive you all back to the town. You definitely have had a long and difficult day, and especially Christian. He looks like he could. I don't think he'd have the energy for the walk. And I was like, "You're a good man, Jean. Good neighbor to all." He says, "Okay, you wait here," and he goes back, and he's gone about maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and you see him coming back with a horse, pulling along a wagon. It's just him. You don't see his wife, his son, his daughter are not there. As he comes out through the gate of the farm onto the road, and he says, "Okay, everybody, hop on board."
While this is happening, Sylvia is going to use her lesser telepathy cantrip and just say to Gwyn, just take deep breaths. You don't have to look. Just take deep breaths. Don't look at him.
Yeah. No problem.
So, when he comes along, Dubois gets up to the sitting beside Jean, and there's room for one more person to sit up the front. Does anybody else want to sit up front?
No. I will let one of the gendarmes sit there.
Okay, so one of the gendarmes sits up front, and the rest of you are all
I
in the
help
back.
the farmer up,
Yep.
and then my lads sit up in as well.
Okay, so you start making your way, and you're actually realizing, God, you're actually really tired. Like, it was a tough fight. You know, it was short, but it was bloody and it was brutal, and it was a tough fight. So actually having this ride on the wagon is pretty nice, you know? You're not going that much faster than you would be if you're walking, but it's nice to have the rest and the break. As Jean was like, so you tell me what happened with the creature? Like, is this everybody? Did anybody die? Did you have to leave anybody behind in the forest? And the boy was like, no, we were okay. Myself and the small one with the big axe, actually, we were the ones who did most of the damage to the creature, but the druid, she landed the killing blow with her
The sorcerer did a lot of damage
earth
as
magics.
well.
She did, you know. So
Did we hear that? Like,
yeah, no, you can hear it. Like, and he's
We're
like,
all there.
but he's not. He's actually not.
taking the credit.
He's not taking all. Like, he's saying he did a lot of damage, which he did. As I said, like in that fight, he did easily 80, 90 points of damage with his rifle. You know, he did a lot of damage.
mumble and say like the sorcerer did take a lot of did a lot of damage.
But he
Looking
is
at Justine.
he's not. He's
like 20 damage.
Yeah, no, it was still
did
significant.
well.
Yeah, but he's not taking all the credit, despite the fact that he is something of a braggart. In this instance, he is obviously like playing himself up and how amazing it is. But then he talks about how then you were so deadly with the halberd, and then so he does talk about, and the other casters were
Okay,
You know.
Nina's gonna look around.
Mhm.
See if she can see a pig fly.
Yeah.
somewhere.
So, and then we also had the thankfully, the casters, our two friends here, gesturing to Sylvia and Gwyn, were able to use their magics to heal us after the battle too. Very, very powerful spellcasters, you know. The town is lucky to have them both. And as he says that, Jean turns around and looks at you, Gwyn. And he said,
I don't catch his gaze.
yeah, and he just, yes, we are so very lucky to have them here right now. And he just continues on.
Oh god.
Totes awkward.
So awkward. And the state of Mina, like he's never gonna let me see Juliet again.
Yeah. Mina blood soaked with two
I am like
ogre ears.
soaked in feckin' slime,
Yeah.
and this time I'm soaked in blood. What must he think of me?
Yeah, exactly. So
You just see, like, Sylvia's just going to kind of gently pat Gwyn on the shoulder with kind of a
There.
there.
yeah. So so you, after about an hour and 10 minutes, so slightly quicker than if you're walking on foot, you do eventually get back to Cherville. The people see you. There's cheers when people realize you've returned. There's gasps of horror as they see Mina covered in blood, with two not pig's ears, ogre ears in her hand. He leads you up to the Le Petit Auberge, the inn at which you were staying. And
Yeah, I want to go to the mayor.
Well, as you alight, you see Amanata with a group of gendarmes coming over to you, and you also see the mayor there as well. Okay, Mayor Soivray, as he comes up to you all, and yet again, like everybody else, he sees you as like, Mon Dieu.
I go up to him and I say, "Bonjour, monsieur. The ogre is dead," and I slap the 2 ears into his hands.
Thank you. I assume you all wish to freshen up. I will be around later this evening. With a reward, a payment for your brave services to the town. Well done. He's kind of gobsmacked because you're just this terrifying vision in front of him. Well done. I'm glad to see nobody was severely hurt, but he can see like you're banged up, was banged up, but you're not dead. You know, you're not missing limbs. You know, but you do see he kind of looking down, and you see when you look down, you can see like where some of your light doublet armor has been cut through.
Good.
Like is like in what looks very clearly like a bite mark. And there is blood there. Is like, yeah, you are actually. He's spotting now your blood on your clothes versus the blood from the ogre as well. As like, you clearly need to rest and a bath, and I will be over this evening. Yes, thank you all, and he's gone.
I think head straight for the inn.
Just giggle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the inn and I order a bath, and then
Oh,
I go to the church to pray.
As soon as you enter the inn, everybody stops in silence. This age is kind of getting later in the evening. It's probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening now. So some people have started coming in for evening drinks. And Marie, the owner of the inn, she's like, Manjil's like, are you okay? She rushes up to you, Mina, and she's like, are you hurt, my dear? Are you hurt?
This is the ogre's blood. Don't worry, it's dead.
Okay.
Some of it is hers, unfortunately.
Scratch. It's just the flesh one.
We'll run you a bath. It will be ready in 5 minutes. Those hot stones, okay. Would you like I don't know. Would you like a bucket and some water to kind of scrub yourself down first, maybe, before you get into the
I'll
bath?
just get out and then I'll have to, yeah, I'll do that and I have to get everything washed and I'll probably just order new armor actually and then, yeah, I'll
Well,
have
I
to
tell
see
you
what
what, why don't you could clean up in the back stable section just to rinse all the blood off
That's
yourself.
fantastic.
Yes,
That's fantastic. Would you mind putting Albert, who's, yeah, here. Are you going
I'll
to, yeah,
take it.
give the, because Albert
I'll
is perfectly clean, by the way.
yeah,
So I'll
I
hand you
will put
Albert and say, like,
Albert
will you put Albert in our
upstairs.
room? Thank you.
yeah. So
So
you
Sylvia will just do that. It's
So
fine.
Sylvia, you go up. She comes out to you a minute later. She's got a bucket with a bar of soap and some rags, and there is hot water in it from because she'd have pots and kettles of water on the stove, and you go out into the stable section. Not that there's any horses there, but they have a stable section if merchants are
Yeah, yeah.
coming through for their horses to stay, and you start kind of wiping the blood off of you. Thankfully, there's not actually that much blood on you. It's all on your clothes. So it's actually not that bad, and you realize there's a bit on your arms and your hands, on certainly on your
Great.
face, but it's actually not that terrible. So
My
and after
hair.
so after like about 5-10 minutes, you're pretty clean. Okay, the bath is ready. Okay, I've left the hot stone in. These are these wonderfully delightful, in another case of everyday Magitech. These are stones that are enchanted with runes, and you literally activate it and stick it into water, and it heats up the water to a nice piping hot bathroom temperature. There are other ones that you can get for instant boiling water, and there are cold stones as well that people use for refrigeration, but this is another one of these everyday things. And guest houses and hotels and inns would regularly have these items as well. And you've availed of this before. So instead of having to heat water over a fire with buckets, they can just fill up the bath very quickly with cold water, and then the stone is dropped in and it heats it up in 10 minutes. It's great.
Brilliant.
So she said, I've left the stone in because
Thank you.
I figured you'd probably want to. Yeah.
I will scrub my armor, but would you mind like scrubbing the rest? Having the rest cleaned.
We'll organise for the rest of it to be cleaned.
Thank you.
I put some rose oil in the water as well, and some fresh soap.
Thank you.
And
That
some
is
fresh
lovely.
towels.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Mina goes off. Jean comes up to you, so her husband. He comes up to you, just and he's like, because he sees the fairy dragon. It's like right there on your shoulder. It's like, Mon Dieu, is that a dragon?
It's my friend.
Does it bite? And as he
Yes.
reaches for it, it just kind of snaps at him a little bit, How big will that get?
Oh, I have no idea.
Mon Dieu, I've heard rumors of dragons in the war with Arcadia.
Oh, it's not like that. It's not that type of dragon.
Okay. What type of dragon is it then?
It's a fairy dragon.
Aren't all dragons fairies?
No, well, it's a different type of dragon. It's not like the dragons that were in the war.
So, do you know how big that will get?
Does Sylvia know how big?
Yeah,
it
you
will
do
get?
know. Like they get to a
That's like a
really big one might get to about 15 kilos. That would be a massive one.
No, it's
Usually,
about the size of a beagle, basically.
yeah, like usually they grow to be the size of a large cat or a small dog. Maybe
Maine
something
Coon.
like
Okay.
exactly a Maine Coon would be a good example. Okay.
So I'm gonna say, it'll grow to the size of a medium-sized dog, or maybe a very large cat.
Okay, fine. What
But
kind
not like the dragons in the war. No.
Okay, well, what kind of food would it eat?
Oh, it loves fish and berries and
Oh.
nuts.
Well, I mean,
And insects is also, but
it's wrong time of year for berries, and it's a bit too cold for all of the insects to be out yet. But we do have nuts, and we can get you some fish.
It'd be amazing.
Okay. Right. So, does anybody have any? Oh, and actually, Gwyn, one of the farmers comes up to you and says, "Finally, I know you've been gone into Faerun, but we've been trying to find you." And he reaches out a hand and he hands
Oh.
you a rabbit's foot.
Oh,
Right.
finally.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I'll just press a few silver into his palm
Oh,
because
no! Are
honestly,
you serious? No, this is ridiculous. I hunt these all the time.
no, you don't know. No, honestly, you. And Gwyn just turns and walks away.
Okay, so you walk off.
Funny.
Are you gonna go up to your room and like start
You
working
can't
on
give it
this
back.
amulet right now, or?
I think Gwyn is kind of fecked, so I think she's gonna grab a bath at some stage,
Oh,
and
yeah.
probably not because I'm completely out of mana.
Well, this is well, depending on the type of amulet you're making, you don't necessarily need actual mana to consecrate and create them. I mean,
Okay.
unless it's an amulet that you would put mana into. So
Okay.
what you could certainly do is get everything ready, prepare everything so that in the morning you could make the amulet, and the amulet will take you. This is a minor amulet, isn't it? Your amulet of fortune. So this will take you approximately an hour to make in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So
Is the-
Sylvia's
is
gonna
both of-
want. Oh, sorry.
Is the post office still open?
Oh no, like it's as I said, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening now. So no, like it would have been closed at least an hour ago. But it is what day of the week is it? It is Thursday, so it will be open tomorrow, Friday. Okay. So tomorrow, if you want, you could go to the post office and get the postmisters to order via sending a message via Arcanagram to the to the local city that she so you can get the supplies that you will need. As I said, it's 100 silver, as what I said, which is 10 gold. Okay. So, Sylvia?
Sylvia is going to want a bath, but not while Mina is in the.
Yeah, of course,
like,
of course.
So, yeah.
So,
She's probably gonna, in the meantime, just like sit down and just like, gonna have a drink of
a
something.
beer.
Yeah, okay, she'll have a beer.
You probably like wanting a beer, not wine right now.
Yeah. No, I want a beer.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, definitely. So,
And then obviously we'll probably all eat dinner together. But...
yeah. So we'll say that you all have turns of your baths. You eventually have a nice meal. The mayor like waits till like later on, about 8:30, 9 o'clock before he comes along. He's clearly giving you plenty of time to rest and bathe and feed and all that. And he says, "And Amanat is with you all as well." And he says, "Well, thank you so much for everything you did. This is really incredible. We were terrified that this creature was going to attack the town again. And here, this is a reward from the town for what you did." And he hands you a stack of coin, and it's 10 gold each.
Oh.
Yes. This was a pretty terrifying battle. So. And Amanada is given 10 gold as well, because even though she didn't go to the forest, she stayed back with the gendarmes in that second line of defense in case something had happened and the ogre had broke through your line. So she also gets paid 10 gold as well. All right. So he says, "Well, I will leave you be." By the way, Mina, by the time you got out of, I know you said you want to go to the church, but the church would have been closed by the time you got out of your bath. So yeah. He leaves you be. You have a relaxing evening. Anybody wishing to do anything?
No, I think I'll probably have a drink with Sylvia and then head to bed because I need a long rest for my mana.
Before you go to bed, like I go as soon as I'm out of the bath and before Sylvia goes to the bath, I'll ask her to just, can you get everybody together into our room?
Okay. I'll just do that.
And before everybody goes to bed, like I give
would like-
everybody.
Mina would like to talk to everybody.
So
I
she.
give everybody their 25 gold.
Well, don't forget,
And
Aminata is there as well. So
yeah,
it's.
she has cut as well.
But
Yeah.
150 divided by
6.
We already factored her
7.
in.
No, did you? Because it
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
the 5 of
it was
you.
Dubois,
Oh
it
yeah,
was
There are
me,
5
sorry,
of us,
it
so
was
apologies.
Gwyn,
Dubois makes
Sylvia,
6.
Justine, and
Oh
we
yeah,
have Aminata
apologies,
as well.
apologies. Yeah, I miscounted. So yeah, so you each get your 25 gold as well, and you have your relaxing evening.
Explain to them that we found that, and you know.
Yeah, no, of course. You have your, as I said, you have your relaxing evening, drinks and so forth. Justine, you eventually head up to bed, do you? Yes. You're probably exhausted. You head up to bed with your new found friend, who curls up on the pillow beside you in the bed. Okay. And me and Sylvia, everybody, as you are all saying, going up to bed. Gwyn, just as you're heading up towards the bed, and as you go up towards the stairs, you hear a noise from the shadows. Gwyn,
Who's there?
and
I
you
feel
look
mad.
and you see Juliet.
Oh my goodness. You
And
scared me.
I,
What are you doing? Hiding?
well, I didn't want people to see and word to get back to my father.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Um,
I'm so sorry about whatever happened.
no, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
I don't know. I think probably I was too much, and
No,
I
you don't.
understand.
Okay, and you can see she's getting really embarrassed. She's blushing profusely. He's like, I just, it was a lot, but I wanted it, but I didn't. You're the first person I've ever kissed,
Oh,
and
I'm
I
so
wasn't.
honored.
Well, no, don't be. It's no. I wasn't. I wasn't expecting to everything to feel so intense, and it.
No, I understand, and
I just. I was felt like I was losing control, and
I understand. I'm sorry. I should have asked.
well,
That was on me. I
no,
assumed,
I mean,
and
you
we can
assume,
just go slow.
but like you don't understand. My father has forbidden it. We're not to see each other. He does not want me, and it's not you. He doesn't want me seeing anybody, at all.
Like ever.
I
I
don't.
mean, he can't.
No. I think he thinks I'm too young for these things. He's very protective. Um, but I really like you. I really want to see you some more. It's very new and scary for me.
I
As all.
understand. I really like you too. And listen, we'll do whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't want you going against your father
I
and
mean,
yeah, it being a terrible time for you. So
if
whatever you need, if we need to wait, I'll wait.
if I was to do exactly what my father said, it'd be an even bigger nun than your friend Mina. So
That's true.
so yes, I do want to see you, um, very much. I just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if I hurt you last night.
No, you didn't. I completely understand. And listen, what I'd love to just take you out sometime and just start again. We can go for a walk somewhere private where no one will see and just take things slow.
I'd like that. Maybe tomorrow evening we could go out. I could meet you on the edge of the town. We could go for a walk for a while. And
That would be perfect. Yes, definitely.
okay, okay.
And then I'll kind of lean in and ask, like, can I? And try and give her a peck on the cheek.
You give her so what happens is you go to give her a peck on the cheek because she thinks you're going to give her a kiss, and she turns her mouth, and there's that like half kiss thing that kind of, this is like really awkward. It's like I'm sorry,
okay, let me do that again. Let me do that again. Give her a proper kiss.
So you give her a proper kiss, and she tenses for a moment, and then she relaxes, and then she pulls away. So okay, I have to go.
Be safe.
I'll see you soon. And she just kind of disappears into the shadows, and she is gone.
Okay, great. Happy days.
So yes, and I think that is a very nice place to pause in our story this evening. I don't want to push it any longer, considering the technical problems that we've had tonight. Like this is how messed up the technical problems are. According to my computer, I am both connected via the Ethernet connection on my modem and my mobile hotspot at the same time. I don't even know if that's possible, but
I don't even know what my connection is.
so
I'm
but I
listening to-
think we will leave it for tonight. You've
Oh no, I'm
had
back on the internet.
Yeah, we've had a very eventful, very exciting day. You found a number of items. Now, by the way,
When?
unfortunately, there's no artificers in the town. If there was an artificer in the town, you could bring those objects that you found in the ogre's lair, and they would be able to use their magics to identify it. If at a later date, Justine, when you go up a level again, if you were to take the spell Detect Magic from the Sphere of the Arcane, then
We can always go into a bigger city, lads.
you can always go into a bigger city. But yeah, thank you so very much. Gremlins are a nightmare. But if when you get to 5th level, which will be in a little while, but soon-ish, depending on the chaos that ensues, if you did take Detect Magic, then you can use that spell to identify any enchanted item that you might find. Okay? And literally the way the spell works is the more mana you spend, the more information you get. So the base 2 mana, you will get the sphere of magic from it and a very vague sense of how powerful it is. And if you spend more mana, you get more detailed information about exactly how rare the item is and exactly what it can do. Okay? But I think there's a perfect place to pause in our story, as I said, with a blood-soaked Swiss guard, killer of dragons, our sorceress having a new best friend, and Gwyn possibly having the opportunity for some possible romance in the future. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Sorry again about the technical problems. Thank you to all of my wonderful players for a really fun session and for not dying or getting lost in the Fey realm again. And then we shall see you next week. Hopefully same bat time,
It was
same bat
time.
channel. So good night everybody. Bye.
Bye.